when you're like 12. When you have your first crush. That's when you're supposed to have your first heartache, not in your 40s. It's supposed to be when you're young, when you're little, when you're resilient, you know? You're like, you realize it's not going to work out, so you're devastated. No! And yeah. Not when you're in your 40s. So without divulging too much information, let me just tell you that when everything was finalized, I was at the gas station and I got a text message basically saying, everything's been signed, it's official, it's turned in. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I get in the car, I start the car, and then I put it in drive. And that's when it hit. That's when it became real. That's when it was like, oh my God, I can no longer go home. That's no longer an option. I have messed things up. I can no longer go back to what I called home. I have to restart my life right then and there at the gas station. And I had a full-blown meltdown. And some of you know that my tour came to an end a while back, and people were wondering, is it drugs? Is it alcohol? Is it mental health? I was going through my first breakup. How was I supposed to be an effective comedian when I couldn't stop crying? You know what I mean? It was like, it was bad. And you guys have heard the shows before. You know I never bring this up. It was the lowest point of my life. I had never felt so sad, weak, vulnerable, depressed, lonely, everything all rolled into one. And it was at the lowest point of my life that I found that's right, country music. Country music knows when you're sad. Country music knows when you're weak. Country music knows when you're vulnerable and you need something to fill the void. I used to fight off country music. I used to look at country music in the face and tell country, you could take your ache, you break your heart, you keep on moving. But not today. Let me tell you what's going on. I'm in the car and I'm crying so much. My tears are rolling down my cheek and they're blending with my snot. They're blending with my mocos. My tears are blending with my mocos and then blending with my babas, with my drool. I have 3 different fluids coming out of my face at the same time. My neck looked like menudo. It was bad. All I needed was a pinche limón y cebolla. That's it right there. I am making ugly sounds and I don't want to hear myself, so I turn on the stereo and I started hitting buttons and it lands on the country station. And I knew immediately that it was country music I was listening to, and I did not try to change the station because I figured, you know what? I deserve to suffer more for the mistakes I made and the people I hurt. So I let it play and play and play and play. I listened to country music for over an hour, and I came to this conclusion. Country music has at least one song that will speak to your heart directly because you feel like the artist wrote the song specifically about you and your life because of how detailed the songs are. Oh yeah, my hat's off to country music singers and artists. You guys, you know how to do something very well, and it's not till you experience a certain time of your life that it makes sense. I'm in that car bawling, and all of a sudden on the radio I hear this. It's been 7 days since you seen her. How does he know it's been 7 days since I've seen her? You just can't get her off your mind. 'Cause every little thing that you do or say is another reason you pushed her away. And now you're sitting in your car all alone. And it doesn't stop. It keeps kicking you on the ground, reminding you what a piece of crap you are. You should have gone home and locked the door, but you was outside being a whore. And now you're sitting in your... Now, the problem with sharing a story like that is that people have questioned the credibility of that story. They say, how is it possible you could remember a story like that with such detail after drinking so many shots? And honestly, I don't. But we recorded the show. So I know the story very well, you know. She'll take off whatever you take off. She'll take off whatever you take off. She'll take off whatever you take. I know it very well. The question that I've always gotten over the years is, are your stories real? We hear these crazy stories, whether it's about me and Snoop Dogg or Martin or all these different adventures or my son Frankie. People have always questioned whether or not the stories are like legit. And so in my last special, I addressed it. I was tired of people asking if my stories were real, so to prove a point, at the end of my last special that I did, I included a photo of every single one of the stories that I talked about so that people would know the stories are real. And tonight, is no exception. So, did I really get naked on stage? Ryan, hit the button. I'm f***ing with you. Oh my God, you guys thought you were gonna see 3D. I'm sorry, I did that for me. I did that for me. Oh my God. You guys were getting stressed. You're like, cabrón, hide los niños. The number one question I've gotten when it comes to my shows is, what is your writing process? My writing process is simple. I do not sit and write out jokes. I am really bad at that. Ask the Oscars. I experience things and then I come out on stage and I share them, and sometimes people laugh, and if they laugh, that's cool, I keep that, and whatever doesn't get a laugh, I work on until it gets, ahaha. 15 plus years ago, my friend Ivan, who is he's my number one longest, oldest employee, not old like he's like, hello, how are you? He's been around a long time. He's been there from day one. Ivan's original job was to record my shows using a camcorder. Now, the fact that I'm saying camcorder should be an indication of the timeline. Because I know some of you right now are like, what's a camcorder? Yes, it was the Snapchat of our day. So Ivan would record the shows and then put away the camcorder and the tripod and a bunch of tapes into a bag. It was very bulky. It wasn't a phone, it was bulky. And then we'd go back to the hotel, and then he'd break the little guard off the back of the TV, and then, he'd hook it up and we'd watch the thing. And that's how I would review my material. One night, we go to dinner. Ivan packed up the bag. We met in the hotel lobby, and Ivan forgot the camera bag in the hotel lobby. And we went to dinner. And when we came back, it was gone. And we never recovered the tape. And I know some of you are like, how convenient. The tape of him getting naked is gone. And to you I say, why would I even make up such a story that could potentially hurt my credibility or my image? I don't need 5 minutes of ha-ha. What I need is there to not be a tape. I know that there's footage out there of me doing something really, really embarrassing and something I wish I could take back. And I know that when this Netflix special airs, a lot of people are gonna see it. And hopefully the person who has the footage is watching. And I would like to tell that person right now, in your living room, I know you have the tape. I have $50,000 with your name on it. Last year, we got a chance to do a European tour of 15 countries. Estonia, Germany, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, UK. We're just bouncing around all over the place. And then we wound up on the other side of the world. Out of all the countries I performed in, my favorite country outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're going to have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you got to see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look at right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. He's moving. He's moving. Oh, he's crying. He's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies, and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it, and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate. Yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives. And they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy. You hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're going to close McDonald's and you're going to have to eat at the airport. I got to go. Oh, Mom, you got to go. You got to go. No worries. And he goes to shake my hand. And when he shook my hand, he put his personal pocket knife that he made in my hand as a gift. That's for you, Mike. Thanks for being nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to cut cheeseburgers with this.